You've reached your destination.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to There and Back with Shavana Cassidy, and we actually have a special guest today. Everybody say hello to Alex. I know you can't literally say hello, but you're going to listen in today and we're going to have fun.
Hey Alex, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being on.
I love your accent. Where are you from?
Oh, thank you. I'm from Michigan.
Okay, I was gonna say it's like a
Yeah.
slight tang of an accent, but not anything super like strong. It's cute.
It's so
I like
funny
it.
because I forget that I sound like I have an accent, and then people say
Yeah.
something, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm from the Midwest.
That's how it is with me in New York. Like, I don't really have the accent my mom does. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, are you from like up north? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am.
It's so weird to hear
Oh,
that referred to as up north because
yeah.
we're so much further up north. That's not
Yeah.
even. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. I haven't lived there since I was, I don't know. I think of it, it's up. I'm at the bottom. I'm in
Yeah.
Florida.
I don't have an
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah. Wait. So you're in Florida, Cassidy. Where do you live, Shavana?
I'm outside of DC.
Okay. Cool.
So we used to be roommates, and then now we do this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good way to keep in contact.
Yeah. We literally talk every day for like 2 hours anyway. It's basically a podcast
Aw.
episode every day. It's so
Yeah.
bad. We probably have like 5 phone calls a day.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's so
But
good.
I think that's why we kind of were like, wait, we already talk all the time. We might as well record it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so tell us a little bit about you, like age, goals, education, I don't know, whatever you want to tell us about.
Yeah, so my name is Alex. I actually just turned 25 on Sunday, so a quarter of a
Happy
century.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm from Michigan, and I graduated from Central Michigan University in 2020, like right as COVID hit. And I'm currently a project manager for a security company, but I'm an aspiring entrepreneur, so I'd love to own my own company one day.
I love that.
Love it. Cool. Thank you.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
I was just gonna say, like, a couple of my hobbies is like traveling and skydiving. Obviously, I know at least Shavana knows about that from my Instagram. So yeah.
That looks really cool. We're gonna get more into that in a bit. But
Shavana,
yeah.
like, I don't want to say pitched you to me, but she was like, so there's this girl. And I was like, okay. And she's like, she skydives. And I was like, she what? And she's like, skydives, like constantly. Like, it's not just like a one time she flew out a plane. And I was like, wait, that's like badass. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Thank you.
I've always wanted to do it, but I haven't gotten around to it.
You should. And if you want to take a little trip, come up to Michigan.
Don't tempt me, because I will
do
it.
Shawna, that's what you do for your 25th birthday.
Yeah,
Oh.
I would be so down. Okay, let's do our peak and pit real quick. Cassidy, you
Start us
want to
off,
start?
Alex.
Or
Oh,
Alex, you want to start?
I was gonna let the
Sure.
guest go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love to. So my peak of the week is probably that it was my birthday, turned 25. And I also have another one. So I've like always wanted to like watch videos from when I was like younger, because I don't really have any. And I like mentioned it to my dad earlier in the week. I was like, man, I wish you guys had like more videos of me from when I was like really young. And he was like, oh, I have a ton. And so he like found his old camcorder, like the handheld ones, the
Aw.
CDs in it. And he gave them to me all last night. So I've just been like watching like hours and hours of like videos from my family. And that was definitely a highlight of my week, was getting to see all those. And he says we have more from like when I was even younger, because these are all from when I was like 8. So I'm really excited to find those, but we actually have to look for them because we don't know where they are. So
Wait,
those are
that's
my
really cool.
peaks. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I'm
that's
gonna
so
like
cool.
make videos with them.
That's cool. Yeah, my
Love
parents
it.
also have like those little like cassette little CD things, but they don't have a player for them. So it's the same way. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I wish I had more pictures. Mom's like, we have them all. They're in a box. They're safe. We just have no way of viewing them. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely no way.
Yeah,
So
and
eventually,
how do you like even get it off of that? Like even off the mini CDs I have, it's a pain. Like I have to go buy something in order to
Mhm.
like even view it on my computer. So that's a whole other process I have to figure out.
Yeah, I think we tried going to like Goodwill or like something and finding like the little player, but
Yeah.
it's not that easy.
Yeah,
No.
no.
That's really
And
cool that you had that
then
opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I'm
is really cool.
excited.
Maybe
And then
eBay.
oh,
Sorry.
that's a good idea. No,
That is a
you're
good
good.
idea.
That's a good idea.
Smart.
And then I would guess my pit is also turning 25 because aging freaks me out. I'm getting better at the idea of like getting older, but yeah. And then probably I started a whole project of like going through my clothes in my room,
That's
and
the worst.
you like get stuck in the middle of it and you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So now I just have like a huge pile of clothes in my room that's like daunting me. I'm like, I don't want to
Mhm.
finish this, but eventually. So
Yeah, that's always not fun. But it will be really nice when you finish it.
yes, donate some clothes, get rid of some stuff.
Yeah. No, yeah. I went through my bathing suits finally because I was like, okay, we have to get rid of like these college skimpy like nothings. And now I think I have like 6 bathing suits to my name, but it's fine. I'm doing swell.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
No, I'm replenishing them with like bathing suits that are actually flattering for like our age without like, you know,
Yeah.
they're still like sexy. I hate that word, like sexy, but not like college. I don't know. That's like the hard
Appropriate
part. Yeah,
for like
they're
young,
appropriate,
mature
but you still feel
adults.
confident. Yeah, I guess
Mhm.
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Shauna, give us your pit and peak.
My peak is I went to a gymnastics class last night. I've been kind of going to those recently. Whoa, sorry, there's like feathers. Okay, never mind. I'm sitting in front of a window. Okay, so I've been going to a gymnastics class. I found an adult one near me, and I missed like 2 weeks in a row because of I got sick, and then there was a holiday. Actually, 3 weeks. Anyway, so I finally got to go last night. It was really fun. I grew up doing gymnastics, so I feel like I'm getting back into it and slowly getting my skills back. So definitely my peak. It's always really fun. My pit is one of my good friends at work just got relocated, so he left today. Yesterday was his last day, so that was really sad.
Aw,
But now I have a new spot to visit. So
A
there you
plus.
go.
That in
That's so
itself is
cool
like a
that you're
pit and a
doing that.
peak.
yeah, for sure. All right,
All right,
Cassidy.
my peak is that starting this Friday starts my like month-long weekend trip vacation situation. So this week I go home to my parents. My dad's birthday is tomorrow, the 13th. Then by the time this episode comes out, Siobhan and I will be leaving for LA. Then I come back and I go to St. Louis. And then it's Connor's birthday. And then I have a friend visiting. So I have like 5 weeks of just my weekends I'm never gonna be off, but it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be
That sounds
great.
fun to me.
Yeah.
It does sound fun, but I also like love my weekends to myself. So I'm like, all right, come mid-August, nobody text, nobody call.
That's fair.
And then my pit is I'm overwhelmed by all of those. So because I have to
Yeah.
like pack and then unpack and then pack and then unpack. So, but it'll be fun. I agree. It'll be so much fun. We're gonna have a great
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to LA.
That sounds so fun. Wait, when are you guys leaving for LA?
the 21st.
20. Yeah.
Sweet.
Wanna
That's
come?
exciting. I would love to. Don't
No,
tempt me.
We actually, you can
that.
come.
Yeah, you can.
That would be
no,
so fun.
we signed up for, I don't know if you listen to Fun on Weekdays podcast or Jenna Palak.
Yeah, I've heard of it, and I like listen to her on TikTok and stuff.
Okay, so she's doing like a 5K run thing in LA, and we were like, let's go.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah,
yeah.
I probably wouldn't join you on the run, but I would totally cheer you on.
Oh no, we're definitely walking. I wouldn't be surprised if we
Okay.
walk majority of the run. And it's funny because Jenna like made a group me for everybody that's going, and everybody's like, so I'm gonna walk. So I'm gonna walk. And there's like maybe 3 people that are like, I plan to run the whole thing. And I'm like, you go, girl.
Yeah.
Pop off, shorty.
You go. Not
That's
gonna be
I'll
me.
probably do a brisk jog. A
Yeah.
very, very brisk jog. Maybe borderline walking.
Speed
like
walk.
a mall walk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like in New York City, like you're trying to get through the crowds. Yeah, like Black Friday walk when you have to like go really fast. Yeah, that's gonna be me. All right, you want to get into our media minutes?
Yeah, sounds good. Did
All
you
right,
want to kick it
Alex,
off
start
again,
us.
or do?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just giving it to her. I'm like, all right, Alex, go.
So my media minute today is going to be Noah Khan, just like him in general, but specifically his new album. He released it when I was like in like doing my backpacking trip, and there's like that one song I was like sobbing to like over and over and over on all the trains, because it's like basically about like long distance daughters, or like that's what everyone's like relating it to, and it's like about your family being like, go like live your life, we will always be here, like go out and live your life. So I was caught crying on a train a few times to that song, and I've still been on the kick. It's all I've been listening to. So
No, I love the extended album. Did you hear like he might have a song with Post Malone? I don't know if that's like been officialized or not. Did you hear about that though?
yes, I saw it on
Yeah.
TikTok yesterday, and I was like,
Mhm.
no way.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good. I don't
Hmm.
know if it's like official or if somebody just like collabed them together. I really don't know. I haven't
Yeah,
seen anything from either of them personally.
yeah, I saw like you know how Taylor Swift used to like print out her lyrics on her CDs and like capitalize certain letters for like a code. I saw like a screenshot of something Noah posted, and like the capital letters spelled out Post Malone. But that could have been fake. I don't know.
I
But
know
I
you
was like,
can never know
that's
who to trust.
exciting. Yeah.
I
I'm
agree.
like, TikTok, not the most truthful place. So
No, I
That's
agree.
fair.
I kind of hope it comes out. I think
yeah,
it'll be a good collab. I love both of them.
definitely. What about you guys?
Go for it, Shawna.
So today I actually listened to a podcast from I'll Read What She's Reading about the
So
ACOTAR
good.
series, which I read back in the beginning of the year or end of the year, beginning, whatever. Yeah, it was good. I'm enjoying it.
I love that podcast with my whole heart. I want to like go be their friends. They're living in Utah too. I want to go visit Utah so bad. So
Me
Yeah.
too. It looks so beautiful there.
mhm.
Does. I was
Yeah.
looking on they popped up on Instagram and they were like, oh, we're talking about ACOTAR, and I was like, I gotta go listen to that one.
I said it to you on the phone. You must not have heard me because I said to you, I was like,
Probably
oh, the
not.
podcast that I listened to did ACOTAR. Oh, you didn't hear me. It's okay. Because they did Throne of Glass, but you haven't read that one yet.
Or I heard you, but I didn't like
Shouldn't compute it. It's fine.
compute
I
it.
forgive you. I forgive
Yeah,
you.
I bet.
My media minute is, well, okay, don't know if you're a Swiftie, Alex, but Taylor Swift's Speak Now, Taylor's version. I've been loving Castles Crumbling, which I liked I Can See You, but since she released a music video, it's like so mainstream now. It's like everybody's favorite song when like a ton of people just weren't vibing with it, but the music video, whatever. But I really like Castles Crumbling. I don't know. I love Taylor Swift. I want to see her again in concert so bad.
Yeah, I've been seeing like all of the different nights of her tour popping up on my like For You page, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I went to
It really
Tampa night
does.
too.
Oh, you
So,
did?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Siobhan and I are
It's
debating doing like Spain or Mexico for one of her international dates.
That would be so cool. Oh my gosh.
You can come.
Yeah, sign me up. I'll be there.
No,
Oh.
I think we signed up for tickets. We just got put on the wait list.
Yeah, we got waitlisted.
It's kind
Yeah,
of
those
sad.
are hard to get. I've heard like people, they'll do those like group chats where they're like all trying to go to concerts, and like whoever can get the tickets like the fastest is like the person who like
They
gives them
did
out to
that?
everybody.
Crazy.
Yeah. Everybody in Orlando did that for Matt Rife, like the
Yeah.
comedian. Everybody did
Yeah,
that.
my
They're like
best
all
friend
by
wants
they're
to
like
go see him.
yeah, they're like all by all six. Like everybody just Venmo me after. And I was like,
Yep.
okay. We didn't
Are you
score
going?
tickets.
Oh, you're not
No.
going. Dang.
Well, it actually wasn't. Everybody said it was supposed to be like $500 a ticket, which it wasn't. But what happened was the 7 p.m., it's on a weekday, and the 7 p.m. sold out in like minutes. And the 9 p.m. only had like the highest orchestra seat, and it was like 75 each. But 9 p.m. it wouldn't end until like 11:30, and it's a weekday. So
Yeah.
I kind of was like, okay, I'll just watch them on TikTok. We're going to see Hannah Berner in November. So I don't know if you know
Oh,
who
she's
that
good
is.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, you can take what you take, you know? I was like, I already have
Yeah.
Hannah Berner tickets. And hers were only, I think I paid 70 for both. So super
That's
cheap.
not
Not too
bad.
bad. Wow.
Yeah, that's
not
not
bad
bad.
at all.
Yeah, Matt Rife is supposed to be coming to, I think, like Detroit or somewhere in Michigan. I think in
Mhm.
January. My best friend was like, "We are going." Oh, it's February. She's like, "We are going." I was like, "Okay, you don't gotta like twist my arm, girl. Like, I will go."
No, the mom I nanny for mentioned the other day, she's like, you know that Matt Rife guy used to be so ugly and he's like hot now? And I was like, yeah, I did actually know that. She's like, he's kind of funny. So I think I might last minute maybe try to score them tickets if I can, like maybe last minute be like, date night, go away. Give me the
Aw.
kids, have a night. But because I didn't know I obviously didn't know. But yeah, no, I
That
thought
would
it
be
was so
so
funny.
sweet.
She was like, he used to be so ugly. And I actually didn't know. So then I looked up like Matt Rife ugly, and it was like back in like 2016, he used to be on Wild and Out and Ridiculousness. Did you guys ever
Oh,
watch this on
really?
MTV?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched Ridiculousness a little
Here,
bit.
I'll pull it up. It was bad.
Oh my.
I just can't imagine him being ugly,
No,
I know.
either.
but
I feel like guys can like buff up and like cut their
they
hair,
just
and
look
all of a
like
sudden it's
completely
like
No,
a
I
glow up.
normal. Yeah.
I think he got like he might have gotten like some type of facial surgery though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh,
Because
Oh,
his like nose looks totally different.
yeah, I'm
Of
interested
course,
to see now.
no, I am
all
too.
the pictures. He's just like he's just like pre like just not cute.
Oh, that does
Oh.
not look like him at all.
That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
feel
it
like he's maybe
doesn't.
gotten some like cosmetic. Hold on, I'll find another one. They're all kind of blurry. Like here's him with Zendaya back in 2015.
Oh, I feel like he looks more like himself in that one.
And that one,
The
yeah.
other
Yeah,
one
But I
might have
agree.
just been like a really bad angle.
but I do think he's
Fair.
gotten some facial work. I don't know. Or maybe his jaw just grew into his face. I don't know, but he's got a chiseled jaw compared to these pictures. If you look it up, you can find him.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
hard now that he's in the tour because it's like all of his tour pictures, but it's pretty
Yeah, I might go looking that up. Just a
rough.
little
She's gonna go in a deep dive.
deep dive moment.
All right, are we ready to get into the episode?
I think so.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. You're putting
All
we're,
right.
we're putting you in the hot seat here.
I think that's Shavana's favorite saying when like somebody's like the main character of the episode, she's like the hot seat. Because we did
Oh,
it.
it.
We said it for our Vogue episodes that we did like the 73 questions. And
I
feel like
love that. That's so cool that you guys did that.
it was pretty
It's a
fun.
good
It's
idea.
fun. It was
It
fun.
took a while.
Yeah, I
did.
bet.
Okay,
Okay.
so you talked about skydiving already. So I guess we can just start with that. So
Yeah.
where like one day did you just wake up and decide like I'm gonna be a skydiver? Like where did that like how'd that come into play?
Yeah, so not really. I always had the idea that I wanted to go skydiving like one day. So I make like goal boards. I don't know if you guys do that, but every year I would make like some type of board or like picture or like
Oh, like a
canvas
mood board.
thing.
Yeah,
Like a
goal.
mood
Yeah,
board
yeah.
for all my goals, and I'll like put pictures of all the things that I want to do on it. And I didn't realize that I did this, but I had put skydiving on my goal board for like every year, 3 years in a row, and then I forgot about it. And I like saw them like looking back. I was like, wow, isn't that crazy? But I didn't know that you could like just go by yourself. I didn't know it was a sport. I just was like, yeah, I'm gonna go tandem skydiving one day. And just kept putting it off because I didn't really have money in college. And then 2 years ago, I found out that one of my friends like jumped on her own and she had her license. And I was like, oh yeah, like that's cool. She's like, if you ever go skydiving, go to Skydive Tecumseh. And I was like, okay, cool, like noted. And then I was like, I'm gonna go skydiving. I'm gonna go skydiving. And everyone's like, yeah, okay. Then the next summer, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. And me and my best friend were like in one of those moods where we're like, we need to do something crazy. So we went high speed, like go-kart racing. And after that, we were like, that didn't like solve the itch. We're like, we need to do something even crazier. And if you knew my best friend, you would know like this never happens. Like she's not an adrenaline junkie. She would never even like think to jump out of a plane. And I looked at her and I was like, we should go skydiving. And she was like, let's do it. And my jaw almost like dropped onto the floor. I was like, no way did she just
Oh my
agree to
gosh.
that. Because like back in like my freshman year of college, I made my roommates and my best friend sign a contract saying that they would go skydiving with me one day, and
Aw.
like lost it or whatever. But then I was like, all right, she's fulfilling her contract, we're gonna go skydiving. And so we looked up Skydive Tecumseh because that's like the one that my friend had told me about. And we went out to the bar that night with our friends, and then we were like, yeah, we're gonna go skydiving tomorrow, like we're just gonna show up and go. And like three or four other people wanted to go with us, but they couldn't go tomorrow. And I was like, if you promise me that you'll go next week, I'll wait for you guys. So we waited a week, and we got like a group of 5 of us to all go skydiving. And it was the most amazing experience. We just like went tandem. And as soon as we like jumped out of the plane and like my tandem instructor pulled the chute, I was just like, oh my gosh, I know why you guys do this every day. I have to do this again. Like I was telling him in like under canopy, I was like, oh my God, I have to do this again. Like I know why you do this every single day for your job. And he was just like kind of laughing because everyone says that. And then when we landed, we're all like on a high of life, and they ask you like in the camera, would you do it again? And I was like, heck yeah, I'm doing it again. Like, sorry, mom and dad, but I'm going to start jumping out of planes. And I was like, I want to do this. And they're like, okay, if you actually want to do it, you know, we have like a class next Friday. You can come in and get your license and jump by yourself. And so that very next week, I went and I took the class, and I was jumping a few days later out of the plane by myself.
Wow.
And I just never looked back. And here I am now, my second season jumping. And I'm super excited to like continue to like improve my skills, because I'm still like what they call a baby bird. Like I'm still like so inexperienced compared to all of like my friends in skydiving. So yeah, but that's kind of my story of how I started. I just kind of went headfirst into it.
Wait, that's so cool.
No, that's awesome.
That's really,
I don't
really cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the adrenaline junkie. I think I'd be the one to have to like be like, yeah, if you hold my hand. Shavana would be the
Yeah.
one that's like, let's jump out of the plane. And I'd be like, do we have to right now?
Maybe
My jaw would
later.
drop if she was like, let's do it right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like me with my best friend, and when she's like agreed to it, I was like, okay, we have to jump on it right now because it might go away. And then
Yeah.
when we got there, she definitely cried, and I thought she was gonna back out, but she didn't. She got on and she was like, I have to go first, because if I don't and I watched you fall out of the plane, I won't go. And so I was like, all right, then you can go first. And she went first, and I watched her. I remember like watching her fall out of the plane. And I was in such shock that I just got her to jump out of a plane that I like couldn't even process that was next. I was just like, I will never forget that moment. I was like, I cannot believe I just got her to jump out of a plane. Her, like, she doesn't ride roller coasters. She doesn't do anything. Like, I had to force her to go ziplining. So I was like, I can't believe I just got her to do that. And then there I was in free fall. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
But
that's so funny.
I always say if she can do it, anyone can do it. And she loved it. She wouldn't go by herself, but she definitely recommends it to anybody at least once. So
That's really cool.
That is
Yeah.
really cool.
That's so cool.
Don't be surprised if within the next month I've done this.
Yeah, Shavana's gonna
That's
be
all
like,
I have to say.
so can I actually come visit you?
no, literally you should. And if, I mean, I always promote my own drop zone, but like if you want to, you should come to Skydive Tecumseh. I can go up in the plane with you. I can jump out like before you. You won't be alone. I know everyone who works there, so like I trust them. Like it's totally cool.
Shavana's booking a flight.
Yeah, book a flight. You can stay at my house. We'll go skydiving. It'll be great.
Like I said, don't
You-
test me. I will be there.
One guest episode, and now we're like gonna plan like 7 trips together. We're going to Taylor Swift. We're
I love
gonna
it.
jump out of a plane.
Yeah,
Oh,
the ultimate
Love it.
bonding experience right there.
for sure. I was gonna say, did your friend ever go again? Or is she like one and I'm good?
No, she's like one and I'm good. And she's like, if I ever have like a midlife crisis or something, like maybe I'll go jump again. But she was glad she did it. And my other friends who went with us, also everyone loved it. Like we were all on the ground, like high on life, like jumping up and down, running, like sprinting to each other, giving each other hugs. Like we can't believe we just did that. Like it was such a high. And one of them is considering getting his license, and then another one is coming back to jump again this summer and bringing more people. So that's really cool.
That is really cool.
So fun.
Yeah. But I was the only one who got my license. Like all the guys that went with us were like, yeah, we're all coming back to get our license. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back and get mine. And like the instructors that we were like hanging out with that are now my friends, they were like telling me that they were like, we didn't think that you were coming back. They were like, you were the last person we thought would come back and like actually get her license, and then you were the only one that did. And I was like, heck yeah, like
Yeah, I love that.
That's so
awesome.
fun. Like I feel like I don't have words for it, because like that's such a fun, like that whole story is so like the memories that you have with your friends. It's really not like, is it a hobby or is it a sport? 'Cause you said sport, so is it counted as a sport?
yeah, people do it competitively. There's like, that's another thing I didn't know. Like this skydiving, it's like a whole other world. And so I feel like I just discovered a whole new world, but they do like competitions and there's like records, world records for it. There's teams. I don't really know how to explain them, but like well-known groups of people that will do like group jumps together.
Is that when
So
they all
it's kind of
attach in the
both.
air?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that in like
So it's like,
movies.
yeah, it's a real thing. Like people actually do that, and they have like Red Bull athletes that are skydivers. You can like find them on Instagram. I follow a couple of them. So I would say it's like a sport and a hobby. It just depends on what route you take it, because you can like get into it and like actually seriously train for it and go to competitions and it be a sport, or it can just be like your weekend hobby. So
So
That's
cool.
yeah, like I said, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna say that's so cool over and over
Yeah.
again. I'm so sorry, but that
Yeah, no,
really
you're
is.
good.
I feel like that's just something. It's very unique. Like that's not a. I mean, for you, you obviously have friends, and like you're surrounded by it, so it's more normalized now. But like I don't know anybody that jumps out of a plane more than once. That's so. I like
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I forget
Mhm.
how like odd it is, because you're right. Like it's totally normalized to me now, because I'm like, yeah, all my friends jump. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm on my third jump of the day, and people are like, oh, what? And I'm like, my friend did 5 today. Like 2 or 3 jumps is nothing. I'm like, what do you mean? Like that's not a lot. But I have to like remind myself like it's not normal, because if someone would have told me that before, I would have been like, wow, like you're crazy. That's so cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So, what is your like overall favorite thing about skydiving?
Oh, that's a hard
Is it like
question
is it
because I
like the
have so
thrill of
many.
it? Is it like the community? I don't know if that like helps you with your
Um,
answer.
I think that like it would be a little bit of both. I don't know if I could just pick one thing, because when I originally decided to like take the class and get my license, it was more for like the adrenaline, like the excitement that it gave me. But once I like hung out at the drop zone and I started meeting people and I started realizing like it's a whole community, it's like this whole like world that they're in. I was like also looking for, wait, I'm going to backtrack really quick. I think it might be the community, because as I'm saying this, I'm like, okay, I'm answering my own question. When I graduated from college, COVID hit and all those things. And I've always had like this feeling that there was like a group of people I was waiting to meet that I didn't know yet. And I just didn't know what that meant. But I also was like, loving traveling, and I was like, somehow this group is going to be like a moving group, like it's going to be like a community that like I feel like I really align with, and like checks all my boxes of like who I think I am, and like my like soul, my spirit, or whatever. And I just felt like I hadn't met them yet. And when I started my skydiving license, I was just doing it for the adrenaline. But then as I started like getting to know the skydiving world and I started meeting the people and spending more time with them, it like hit me, and I was like, this feels like that group that I like was waiting for, like that group of people that I was like just waiting to meet. And I just kind of walked into it on accident. And so probably the community, because now obviously you still get adrenaline and I still get excited, and every jump that I land I'm like, oh my god, I love life. But the drop zone is like not just a place where I go to skydive, it's the place that I want to spend my entire weekend, and we camp out, or I stay at my friend's house and like we spend the entire weekend there. So it's not just a place that the majority of skydivers go and then leave. Like they go and we hang out and like we have campfires, and there's a very big beer culture in skydiving. So we have like a beer light, and it's like a gigantic stoplight that hangs in our like airport hangar. So like when the last flight of the day ends, the beer light goes on, it turns green, the stoplight turns green, and so you can drink. So like everyone goes and grabs a beer, and like the night begins. And so it's just a lot of community of people who love doing something as much as you do, and you build like such deep bonds fast, because you're literally jumping out of a plane with each other, which is like you're putting
That's
your
a
life in
vulnerable
their hands.
place. Yeah,
So
that's a
yeah, it's
really
a very,
vulnerable place to be, for sure.
yeah.
That
And I've met some
is,
like really cool people doing it. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Like, so that's
I would
just
also,
it's so unique. It's so cool. Like
yeah.
you amaze me.
Oh, thank you. I would say my biggest lesson, though, that I've learned from skydiving, which is why I think everyone should do it at least once, is that it teaches you how to walk through fear, which I think is something that a lot of people don't like learn in their everyday lives. Because if we like get afraid of something or something makes us scared, like it's typically something you're like, oh, I shouldn't do that. But if you can convince yourself to overcome that mental barrier of throwing yourself out of a moving plane, you can literally walk yourself through anything, because if you can go through that fear, you can't get rid of fear. I don't really think you can overcome fear necessarily, but you have to like let yourself feel it, because if you wait till you're not scared, you're never going to do it. And I feel like that prevents us from like accomplishing a lot of things in our lives that we actually want. And so that's something I learned, was like, you can be nervous, you can be fearful, but you have to walk through it to get to the other side. You can't just skip over it.
I love that.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna have to do that.
That's gonna be Shavana's new hyperfixation for like a month. I'm not even kidding. I might control that really quick. No,
No,
it's
for
literally gonna be
sure.
Shavana's hyperfixation for like a month now.
Do it. I do the same thing. I'll get like fixed on one thing, but
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely
Yeah.
do it too. I'm not making fun of you. I just think that might be your next one.
No, I
Yeah.
think it might be. My friend and I, when we were in Puerto Rico, we almost we were looking it up and we were almost gonna go, and then we decided not to, and I kind of wish we did. But
yeah.
I can't say I ever have debated. I guess the opportunity, like I've never been anywhere though that I'd be like, that's the to-do list, you know?
Yeah.
I think I've never been in that
Mhm.
position to be like, oh guys, what should we do? Oh, let's go skydiving. I think I would. I think I would do it. I think I'd be like freaking out, crying the whole time, but I think I would do it.
Yeah. That's okay. Like, you can cry. Like, people do it all the time. It's a scary thing, but definitely I think you should do it.
Maybe we'll
Question.
book a trip too.
I like that time.
Yeah.
The first time you went, were you scared at all, or was it just like, I was born for this and I'm ready?
Yeah, I actually wasn't scared. I remember thinking that I was gonna get scared once we like got there for our tandem, and I did like a little vlog thing of the day that we went, and I remember like vlogging and being like, I thought I was gonna get scared, but like, I'm not scared yet. And then they did the interview right before I got on the plane, and they're like, are you scared? And I was like, actually, no, I'm not. Like, I feel great. Like, let's do it. And so they start like teasing you and like being like, oh, I think I forgot something, like just to try to like, get you out of that. And I was like, oh yeah, like hope you didn't, like we're already on the plane. So I never really got scared. And then when I did my solo jump, I thought I was going to be scared, but I really wasn't. I don't think I got scared until I had to do my first jump, that I had to do like barrel rolls and like flips in. And that's when it hit me. That was when like I had that moment, like the come to Jesus moment, or like hit your reality moment, where I was like, I'm about to throw myself out of plane, be hurtling towards the ground, and then I'm going to be doing flips and trying to become unstable as I'm falling towards the ground. And I was just like, that's a little scary. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I was like, I'm just going to do it anyways. And then I did it, and it was so much fun, and it was fine. But that was probably like my 6th like solo jump on my license that I was like, I don't know about this, but that was really the only time that I got nervous.
Okay. The barrel rolls, like now you do them fine, everything.
Yeah, they teach you to do it so that you get unstable, so that you can know that you can restabilize. And that's like one of my
Okay.
biggest strengths, is I can stabilize so quick. Like even when I shouldn't stabilize, I'm stable
That's
really quick.
good.
So
Oh, that's cool. Does it make you dizzy at all? Like doing a bunch of barrel rolls?
Not really, actually. I get pretty dizzy easily, and I don't ever feel dizzy when I'm in the sky, probably because we're focusing on something. Like you either focusing on like a heading or the person that you're jumping with. So like I just had to do a recurrency jump, because I didn't jump during like most of the winter. I jumped a couple times, but so I had to like jump with like an instructor, and we just did like a monkey see, monkey do thing. And she would like do a flip and I do a flip, and she would do a barrel roll and I do a barrel roll, and do a 360, I do a 360, and I didn't get dizzy at all. And that's like what we did the entire jump. So
Oh, okay. That's cool.
This might be a dumb question. How long does it last from like the jump point to like the landing point? Like, does it matter depending on like where you are? Like, how does that work?
yeah, it depends on like your altitude. So we jump out at 14,000, and then just depends on like your fall rate and stuff. But on average, your true free fall time is going to be anywhere from like 40 seconds to like 60 seconds, just depending on like what you're doing. And then my time under canopy is like a little bit longer than most people, because of like my what's called a wing loading, and I'm so light. It just takes me so long to come down on my canopy. So like I'll be up there while like all my friends are on the ground already. So I'll just be like spiraling down, like trying to get down quicker. I would probably say I'm under canopy for like 5 to 7-ish minutes. So like under 10 minutes. And then if you like count the plane ride up, if we take our fast plane, then it's like, I think 10 or 15 minutes to get up to altitude. If we take the slow plane, it's like 20 to 25, I think. So like all in all, if we take the slow plane, then we're going to be like on a jump for like 40-ish minutes, like just all said and done, like 35, 40 minutes.
Nice.
Cool.
See, I'm not afraid of planes. So I'm like, okay, if I'm not afraid of planes, like at least I know I'll be safe up there. And then just like, just chuck yourself out. It's fine.
Yeah. And
I'm like sitting here trying to
honestly,
like play the mental game with myself right now. I'm like, I think I could do it. Maybe. I don't know.
yeah. And like, I feel like a lot of people don't want to do it because they're afraid of getting that stomach drop feeling,
Mm.
like that you get on a roller coaster, and you don't get that at all. Like there's no dropping feeling. You don't feel like you're falling. You just feel like you're floating.
That's really cool.
Like that's the best way to describe it. So if you're afraid of that, like you literally are just in the plane 1 minute. It's just a mental block at the door. And then the next you're floating. Like that's what it feels like. It doesn't really feel like anything else.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us. That's so cool.
So I hope that helps, like curb
No, it
your
does.
No, yeah.
fear a
I'm
little
ready
bit.
to
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I feel
You're
like
like-
I'm ready to go.
Jumping out of a plane, no problem. Let's do it.
I'll see you in 6 weeks when I'm done with every single week of vacation. And then
Yeah.
I'll come jump out of the plane.
Perfect. That sounds good.
For someone who wants to get into it, what would they look at for like financially? Like,
Yeah. So
that was really
it
poorly
is-
worded.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean,
Sorry.
like the cost of getting your license and all that stuff. It is it's pretty expensive. It's an extreme sport, but my like thought process on that is like anything you invest your time into sport wise, like all sport gear is expensive.
Mhm.
If you really like want to throw yourself into it. But I would say a license, so you have to get 25 jumps on your license, like to get your license to qualify. It could take you more than that, but like the minimum's 25. For about 25 jumps under the accelerated free fall student program, which is AFF, I would say it's about 3,500, like 3,500. If you have to like retake levels, then it's going to be more expensive. Because if you like fail a level, like if you don't pull on your own, or if like your task is to like do a flip and get stable and you can't do that, you'd like fail essentially. And then you have to retake it. So if you fail levels, you have to like pay for them again. So it just depends on how fast you get through it. And then once you are licensed at my drop zone, at least it's $35 for sport jumpers to jump. And then it's $45 to rent gear. But if you have your own gear, it's only $35 to jump. And then if you want to buy your own gear, that's where it gets expensive, because to buy your own like magic backpack, like your own rig, it's going to be anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. Like it could be
Wow.
pretty expensive. And like if you want to go out and buy a brand new rig, like with all the bells and whistles and like brand new canopies, you're going to spend $10,000. But you can find them used on like resale groups and stuff for a lot cheaper. And that's what most new jumpers do, is they just buy used gear. And so it like helps keep that cost down. But once you get into it and you have your own gear, it's only $35 a jump. So that's pretty
That's
good.
not bad.
Yeah,
So is it
that's not
35
bad.
per? So like you mentioned that sometimes you jump like 2, 3, 4 times a day. So you have to pay 35 per each jump, like in that sense.
Yeah.
Got
And
it.
then at some drop zones, I haven't been to them, but like I look them up like for places I'm going in the future and be like, oh, where's the drop zone there? I can go jump.
Mhm.
Some drop zones I have noticed they'll like allow people to buy blocks. So like a
Oh.
block of like 50 jumps, and it'll be at like a discounted price for people who like live there. My drop zone personally doesn't do that, but I have seen drop zones who do that. So
Gotcha, that's cool. So do you have your own or do you rent? Like, do you have your,
I
your own
am
cool?
not yet. I'm renting. So I'm like really tiny. I'm like 5'1". And so it kind of makes it harder to buy resale gear,
Mm.
because when they pop up, they're gone so quick, because like they're hard to find. And I don't want to spend $10,000 on a rig.
Yeah,
So
I don't
I've
blame
been
you.
like
Don't blame you at all.
renting. Yeah. So I've been renting, but I'm toying with the idea of buying my own, because I'm like, if I rent for 2 years, that could be the cost of my own rig. So it's like an investment, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, but it's just pulling the trigger on like spending that much
Mhm.
cash all at once. It's
No,
intimidating,
for
but
sure. No, that is intimidating.
Okay, so
yeah.
follow-up question though. Do you have to pay 45 for the rig every time you also jump, or is that like a day?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Oh, it's
yeah,
per
I could see.
jump.
That's why I was
Um,
like, I should just go out and buy one because I'm like breaking it out like over months, like a span of
Mhm.
months, but it'd be the same if I just bought my own rig and then jumped for 2 years on it. You can rent rigs from companies that allow you to like rent it like monthly basically, so that you're not like paying per jump. And some DZs do let you like rent for the day. But yeah, it gets expensive. It adds up. And then like when I first started, this is why it was really expensive for me, as I went to iFly, the wind tunnel.
Oh yeah.
I don't
I've
know if
done
you guys
that.
have ever heard of that.
Yeah.
So they have like on Tuesdays in Detroit, they have like the Skydiver nights where like skydivers go for like wind tunnel trainings. And that's like where you kind of learn like certain skills that you want to take to free fall, because it's just easier to like practice in the tunnel than it is to only have 60 seconds in free fall like during your skydive. So when you start doing more advanced jumps, like we call it free flying, people like go into the tunnel and there's like a position of free fly that's called like a sit fly, and it's really hard, but it's like one of the first ones that like people learn when you're like trying to like take your free fall to the next level. And so like people like go to the tunnel, but that's like really expensive. It's like $250 for like 15 minutes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, so
Oh.
it's very expensive, but it's actually cheaper than it would be if you were skydiving for the equal amount of free fall time. And you have like a
That makes
coach, like
sense.
there's a coach in there with you helping you like increase your skills. So
That makes sense. That does make
Yeah.
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I think I did the sky dive tunnel thing. It was like a minute or 2 minutes, something
Yeah.
silly like that. And I was like, it's over.
Did you like it?
No, it was really cool. I'd do it again.
Yeah.
It's expensive, which is why I haven't done it again. But
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
they're
so
normally near like Top Golfs. Like I've always seen them, or at least in Florida. I don't know how that is ever, but in Florida, like the two Top Golfs we have in like the Orlando area, both have an iFly right next to it. So I've always seen them, but I've
Yeah.
never like.
wow.
I always thought they maybe they were like partner companies, if I'm being honest, because they're both right next to each other. So I just thought it was like a convenience thing of maybe they were both owned by the same people.
Yeah.
But I've never done it. Sounds fun.
That would be a good way for you to see if it's not the same as skydiving, but like your body is in like wind that you haven't
Mhm.
experienced before. So it'd be a cool way to see if you would get overwhelmed if you wanted to go solo.
See, I think if I hated it though, I would like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. Whereas if I just jumped out the
Yeah.
plane, like it's done, I did it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
true. You
Because
should
I
just go
know
skydiving.
myself. I know myself. And like since you said they are different, I would just psych myself out and be like, oh, well, I didn't like that, so I won't like skydiving. But like
Yeah.
so they're different. So like I would want to cheat myself for
Yeah, no, just go
Fair.
skydiving. Skip everything else.
that. So I think we're done with the skydiving questions. You want to talk about travel?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
You just
start
did
us
like
off,
a
Shauna.
whole Europe backpack trip thing. I was kind of following
Yes.
along on TikTok a little bit. No, it looked really cool. I've always wanted to do that, but I got a job instead.
Yeah,
Uh,
that interferes a little bit.
yeah, I would love to work remote so that I could do that. Is that how you did it? Just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I work remotely, so anywhere I have like my computer and Wi-Fi, I can work. So
Very jealous. That's really cool. No, but how was that? And like, how did you go about planning that? And
yeah. So actually, I'm gonna give all of the credit to my cousin Chloe. So I ended up going with her and her friends like very last minute. They were graduating from college, and she planned like their entire itinerary from like beginning to end. And she like asked me a few months beforehand. She's like, "Hey, like I know you love traveling. We're going to Europe. Do you want to come with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like that would be fun." But I didn't like really look into it until like a month before they were leaving. And she called me and she's like, "Hey, I know I like invited you, but do you like actually want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm down to go." And she was like, "Okay, we're leaving next month." And I was like, "Yeah, like I'll go buy my flight." So I like booked my hostel to like Switzerland because they were like running out of rooms in there. And I had nothing else booked, like at all, like no flight, no
Mhm.
anything. We are supposed to be leaving in like 3 weeks. And I didn't know how long I wanted to stay with them on the trip because I'd gone to like a lot of the countries that they were going to already. And so I was like, I don't know like how long I'm gonna stay. Like we'll just see what happens. And then I got like a really great deal on my flight. I got a flight from Detroit to Barcelona for like $85.
Oh my
And
gosh.
What?
yeah, yeah, so I wasn't gonna go to Spain with them because I'd already been. I had gone to Madrid, and I was like, I don't really want to go back to Spain, like, and spend extra money, you know. And I was just like browsing on my little American Express travel like search thing just to see. And then they had like a points deal going where you got like bonus points if you transferred it to like a certain airline. And so I was like, let's just see how much it would be. It was like 18,000 points, which is nothing for like credit card points. Like that's like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's
And $85. And so I called my cousin. I was like, how do you feel about me meeting you in Barcelona instead, like early? Because I would save more money getting that flight, paying for the hostel, paying for my food, going there, than it would like buy a flight anywhere else. And so I met them there, and I ended up staying a month. I was there with like no flight home. I just did a one-way flight. Did not know when I was going to come home. And I was just figuring it out. I had joined them for their whole itinerary up until when they went to Greece. Then I broke off and I did some solo traveling after that. So
it's really
yeah.
cool. I did Barcelona and Madrid a few years ago and loved it. I'm curious to know
Yeah.
like what, because you've done both now. So which one, like, I don't know, what was your
Which one I
preference?
liked more,
or-
in my opinion? Yeah. I went to Madrid when I was 18, so it's kind of a long time ago.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite place that I'd been. I think it was more because I was on a tour group. I couldn't do what I wanted to do and like explore what I wanted to do. Barcelona was fun, but it was just a lot of clubbing. I'm not like a club person. So the architecture was beautiful. The people I met there, we had so much fun. Like we had a blast every single night. There was never like a dull moment. And we did like a tango class, which was really cool.
That is really cool.
It was like on this rooftop, and it was like these two people that were teaching us how to tango. It was so fun. But then it was just clubs every night. And I went to one club and I had so much fun. And then the rest of the nights I was like, okay, I'm over the clubbing, but
That's
it was
fair.
still fun. We still had a good time. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I did one night of clubbing, but then I wasn't there for a month. We were there for like 10 days, but
Yeah.
I agree with you. I feel like like a small amount of clubbing, and then I like going places to see the place and like explore the place more than I'd like to like go there and get drunk the whole time. I don't
Yeah.
know. Personal
sure.
preference.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate the friends that are like, so we're gonna go to a bar and then another bar. And I'm like, we're gonna go to a museum and maybe get a margarita. And then we'll go tour and then we'll get another margarita. And they're like, no, bar. It's like the TikTok sounds like bus, club, another club.
Another club. Yeah.
That
We did do our fair share of drinking while we were over there, but I like to more immerse myself in the culture. Like I love museums. I love like seeing like I like to travel, not vacation. You know, like the
Joanna always
differences.
says that.
Yeah, they're different.
So they are very different. By the end of the trip, I was like, oh my gosh, we've been drinking so much. I like don't drink that much at home. And if I do go out, I'll have like one or two drinks. I don't like drink that heavily. So like in Europe, I was like dying every time we drink. The next day I'm like, oh my God, I know why I don't drink. Like
you're literally talking to the right two people.
Yeah.
Like I literally go out and I'm like, do I have to drink? My friends are like, I'll literally buy your drink for you, just have a drink. And I'm like, okay, I'll have a single drink. Don't twist my arm. I'll have a single drink.
Yeah.
I used to, but now it's just like, I don't know. I'd rather be there and actually like enjoy it than the next day. I'm not even like a hangover type of person. I'm just like miserable the next day. I feel like puffy, grudgy, disgusting.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't dislike drinking. I do like drinking. I'll have like a drink or two when I go out. In college, like we drank a lot. So I feel like when I graduated and then like start settling into like life, I stopped drinking as much. So then when I like would have a drink, it just would hit me so much faster. And so then I would like, okay, I'm not going to drink as much. And getting older, like my hangovers have gotten way worse. Like I will feel hungover if I have more than 2 drinks. So I'm like, maybe not.
See, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm that much younger than you guys, but I still haven't thankfully gotten that like hangover hit yet. Like still never really. And Shavana, she gets like we always make the joke like Shavana, we have to literally like go in the room and like yank her by her ankles to get out of bed for the day, because she's the type of person, she's like, if I don't get out of bed, I'll never get dizzy.
Yeah.
As soon as I get up, I feel the hangover. So I just like I'll just lay here. Right now I feel okay. Right now I'm good.
Just don't move.
Yeah. Yeah. But actually, when I was in Barcelona, when we went out, we were out really late. And then the next day we booked a like kayaking tour thing. And the whole way there, I was like miserable and like felt like dying because it was like an hour drive. But when we got there, we like went swimming and the water was really cold. And as soon as I hit the water, I was like, whoa, I feel fine. I don't know.
It
So now
just-
I'm like, maybe I'll just jump in a cold shower.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me know if that works because I will use that trick.
Okay, I will. Yeah. So where else did you go on your trip then?
So we did 10 different countries. We started in Spain, then we went to, let's see if I can remember it. Spain, Switzerland, Italy, France, the Netherlands, Czech Republic, Germany, Austria, and Hungary. I don't think
Wow.
I missed one, but there were 10. That should have been 10.
I wasn't
then-
counting.
Yeah. And then I'd gone to quite a few of those already. So I think the new countries for me were Switzerland, Germany, Czech, Austria, oh, and Poland. I don't think I said that one. Poland and then Hungary. Those were all the new ones for me.
So
So that
cool.
was fun. And
Me waiting
like,
for my passport to come in.
have you had one before or did you just get it renewed?
No, it's literally my first passport. My little baby.
Ooh, where are you gonna go first with it?
No idea.
You have to plan
Siobhan
a
will drag
trip.
me somewhere. No, Siobhan doesn't.
No, I will drag her somewhere. I'll be like, come on, we're
We'll
going
figure
here.
it out. No,
Yeah.
ideally, I really want to do. I want to do Greece and Italy. Those are like the two like big ones. But I've always like said I'll probably save one for like a honeymoon, just because like they are such a big like I've idolized them since I was like 10 years old. So I feel like I have to
Yeah.
save one for like a big moment in life.
Yeah,
But
you can
I
always
feel
go
like
back.
That's true. That's also
This is true.
No, my family's idea of vacation was like going to Disney for the weekend, which I ended up going to Orlando for college. So now I'm like, okay, this isn't vacation anymore. Can we do something exciting?
Yeah.
Which I love my parents. They still come to Orlando, obviously, to visit. But I'm like, I need something else. I need something more.
Yeah. You need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
My family did not like travel at all. So I didn't start traveling until I was like 18. I turned 18 and I literally booked it out of here. I was like, see ya. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask if you had a
Interrupted.
favorite out of your trip.
Plethora.
Like,
Yeah, I always say Italy just because I studied abroad there and I loved it so much. So going back is always fun. But I think that I'm going to be changing my answer because I fell in love with Switzerland and the Czech Republic. Like Switzerland was so insanely beautiful. I literally cried on my walk. Like I walked from our hostel down to like this little town by myself to go meet up with my cousin. I literally started crying because the view was that beautiful. And we just had really great experiences with the people there. And we also went paragliding while we were there. So that was
Fun.
really cool. So that's probably one of like the most beautiful places I've ever been. And then I really loved Prague, which is where we went in Czech. And that's probably one of my favorite like cities, like European city vibe that I've been in. But yeah, those are probably my two favorite now.
Paraguay,
I'll write them down.
Switzerland.
I've
Writing that one
heard
down.
Switzerland. I've heard
Yeah.
Switzerland and Iceland are both like, I feel like a lot of people that have done those are like their favorites. If they've gone either Switzerland or Iceland, I feel like those are always like the top. There was in like the top 3 to 5.
I just feel like you can't beat the views. Like I just
Yeah.
don't see how anything could be more beautiful than it.
Oh, it looks amazing.
So where is one place you
My-
haven't visited that you want to go to?
I have actually never been like anywhere in like Southeast Asia, like no countries. I've never been over on that side of the world. And that's actually my next trip that I'm planning right now is to go there. It's just so different than anything I've ever been to. So I'm like really excited to check that out. And I love like Buddhism and stuff. And so like I think that will be cool to like get to explore like the temples over there and like learn
Mhm.
more about that and stuff. So
Are you planning to do that alone or do you have like little groups?
So I originally was planning it as like a solo backpacking trip, but I do have some friends that want to go with me. One in particular, I think that she'll go with me for at least 2 weeks. And then there's like a few people who like swipe up on Instagram and stuff and they're like, oh, I want to go on the next trip with you. But it's like, who really books the flight, you know?
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
like the
thing.
guys that want the license for skydiving. It's like, are you coming or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Fair.
Like, are you really like,
So-
I'll believe it when you book the flight.
So is your company hiring? Because I'd love a remote job.
There are so many remote jobs now though with COVID. Like you can search
That's
remote. I mean, what do you do for work right now?
So right now I work in marketing for an airline, which I
Cool.
love because I do have the like flight benefits, which is great,
Yeah.
but I don't have the time off to use them,
Mm,
which is hindering me.
yeah. What's your
Yeah,
PTO like?
not great. I think it's like 2 weeks, so it's not
Oh,
enough
yeah.
to use. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably
So
get like one good trip like abroad. I mean, depending on where you go. But
yeah, I did a weekend in London a couple weeks, like month and a half ago, but you know, I mean, there's only so much you can see in a weekend.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to do that. You'd almost have to like try to do like an extended weekend and do like a Friday off, leave a Thursday night, and even that, it's not enough time
Mhm.
really to truly see somewhere.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I keep saying if they'll hire me remote, then that's like kind of golden,
Mhm.
but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you could definitely get a remote job after this one, like with another airline or another, like maybe marketing position. There's a lot of like social media marketing jobs that are just fully remote.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
No, that's really cool.
I told Clyde to be a flight attendant because then she can just hop on the plane and fly to the location.
Yeah, you
Fair.
should.
But somebody's being stubborn.
I'm
I thought about
considering.
becoming like a flight attendant for that reason.
Yeah, no, I'm considering it. We'll see. Have you watched the Lost LeBlanc like on YouTube at all? Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I've watched him for years. He has a whole channel. He started in Southeast Asia where he'd like blog his day, and now he's like a full videographer and his content's really great. But he fully inspired me and I want to go do a whole Southeast Asia thing. So I highly recommend checking him out.
Yes, I will. What is it? The
It's called Lost LeBlanc,
Lost
L
LeBlanc. Okay.
EBLANC, I think.
Sweet. I'll check him out. Is he on
Yeah,
TikTok too?
I think so. Yeah,
Cool.
I feel like everybody's on TikTok at this point.
Yeah.
fair.
If you're not, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
excited for that. It'll be a little bit more intimidating to plan, but
For sure.
it'll be worth it.
Yeah. And everything over there is so inexpensive. So you can live off
It
of
is,
like
yeah.
so much less there for so much longer.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing like my theme of my trip is going to be like, how cheap can I make this trip? Because I'm like a go-to, like I know all the tricks for traveling. So I have my like travel credit card points I've been saving, and I have like 200,000 points saved up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm like, that's gonna pay for my flights over there. And
Yeah.
so I've heard you can like have a budget of like $20 a day or less with your accommodations.
Yep.
So I was like, how cheap can I do this trip? Like I could do this for under $1,000 and stay for a month. Like,
I think you could. I really think you could.
yeah.
As I say, I feel like I've seen a lot of TikToks of people that literally say like for like I think it was a long time ago, but I remember seeing it. It was a husband and a wife, or maybe they're just dating. And I think it said it's been $18.12, and they did like a mud bath. They did like all this stuff for the day, and it was literally with accommodations, $18.12.
Yeah.
I remember I like deep dived their account that day. I was like, wow.
Yeah, just getting there, that's the expensive part. So if you can have like your flights covered, like if you did like a trip out anywhere on that side of the world, they're usually like $1,800 for
Yeah.
a flight. But if you have your flights covered, then
Yeah.
it's so cheap.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely
Does your
on my
job fly
list.
that way?
We do. We can connect through other airlines.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I want to work for an airline so I could get free flights.
There you go. Just swap jobs.
Yeah.
It's great other than the lack of time that I have.
Yeah.
I think if
Yeah.
I had more time, I'd love it a lot more.
Yeah.
That also
My
depends
job's
on
pretty
what you do
lenient.
there.
I don't know. My job, I just say I kind of need off, and she goes, "Okay, sounds good."
Yeah.
What do you do, Cassidy?
I'm a personal trainer, but right now I'm like in a hiatus. I'm currently like applying at jobs and stuff, but I'm a nanny for 2 twin boys. So it's very easy to just like kind of tell the mom, because like, you know, I'll do her a solid. Then it's like, hey, remember those like week that I stayed until 8 p.m. every single night? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, so I need 2 days off. And she's like, all right, you got it. So she's
Good.
really good about that.
That's awesome. Having flexibility is really nice.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which is
for
what I'm
sure.
kind of enjoying with like all the trips. I know they're the weekend trips. With all the trips, I'm kind of like, I definitely need a second job. The income is good for just nannying. Like it honestly is pretty nice. But like I know I'm a pretty bougie person. So I need like that extra income, and also like rent and everything nowadays just isn't cheap. So I definitely need, a second job. But with how busy I am, I'm kind of enjoying the moment of quietness. Don't tell
Yeah.
mom. She'd probably like yell at me. But I'm kind of enjoying like the kind of little moment and like having my mornings back to myself to be able to like, I don't know, focus on like my wellness. So
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that if you're gonna do that, now is the time. Like, you don't have kids, there's nothing like, you don't have to get a second job. Like, if you can survive on your one job and relax and just enjoy your life a little bit, like, live it out until you don't want to anymore.
yeah, that's
Fair.
kind of where I am right now. I'm still affording all the trips, so I can't and like obviously all my bills are paid, so I can't complain. But like I said, I know I like that extra. I like extra cash. I also
Yeah.
like a busy schedule, so I know eventually I will get fed up with not having like a set wake up time. Like you can ask Ron, I normally
Yeah.
was waking up at like 4:15, then I'd go to work at 5:30, then I'd be like home from the first job by noon, go to this next job I want like 1:30, like go, go, go. So like I said, it's been nice in like the low period, but I'm also like, okay, I need a
Getting
schedule. Like I need
antsy.
to be back. Yeah. All right.
Definitely.
I think I'm done with my questions. Do you have any questions, Shauna?
I don't think so. I think that was just it.
How are
Sweet.
you feeling? Do you have anything you want to add? Anything, questions, comments, concerns?
Oh yeah.
I guess like, have you guys like traveled? I know, Cassie, you just got your passport, but
Not
like
even
when you
here yet.
travel, when you travel, like, are you like gonna be open to like hostels, or like what's your like style? Do you think you're gonna want to like
So
try
I
that
don't
out?
want to say no because I've never done it. I would totally be down for the experience. I do like more of the adventure. Like I don't want to go sit in a restaurant for 5 hours or like sit at a bar for like I want to see the experiences. So the one that I've kind of talked about, like as long as you have like a safe place to lay your head, a safe place to shower. Like I said, I've never been there or done that, so I can't fully say yes or no to like one or the other. So I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm really excited. I want to travel. And like my boyfriend grew up with a pilot, or like his dad's a pilot. My boyfriend's going through pilot school. Shavana grew up always traveling. So for the past like 3, 4 years, I've been so immersed into like, yeah, just fly standby. It's so convenient. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're just flying standby. And somebody's like, I don't know what that is. And it's almost like skydiving, it's like normalized. It's like, what do you mean? They're just flying standby. So it definitely is giving me more of the itch to travel. And like now this will be my second time going to LA. That's like my big girl. Because I haven't really gone anywhere crazy yet. But like I said, I want to travel more. Like my family's not a travel family. So I kind of want to like break that and like be the person to
Break
go
that
and
cycle.
travel. Yeah. And my parents are supportive. They bought me they paid for the passport as like a Christmas gift because I really didn't want too much this year. So they're like, we'll just pay for it. So they're definitely willing to like, they're supportive. So that's
That's
good.
good.
I'm
That's
excited.
really good.
I'm really
Sweet.
excited.
No, I've never done the hostel thing, but I've stayed in an Airbnb with other with like a shared kitchen and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like that's but I'd be down to do it. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, I would totally recommend them. It's like my favorite way to like stay somewhere, but you just have to like read reviews because like there are totally bad hostels out there. But I feel like they get a bad name over here. But if you like use like hostelworld.com and you read the reviews, you can find like really, really nice hostels. Like I've stayed in some nicer hostels than the majority of the hotels I've ever stayed in. So
Oh,
you can find some really cool ones. And in I think I was in Austria. I think that's where I was. But the hostel that I stayed at was inside an IKEA.
Oh my God.
oh,
Yeah. It was really
wow.
interesting. It was really cool. But yeah, you can find some like really unique ones, and it's definitely a cheap way to travel.
Yeah.
So, and I was like looking up in like different countries like around Southeast Asia, like Vietnam and like Indonesia and like different places like that. And I was finding like 5-star luxury hostels for like 10, 15, $20 a night. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like luxury, I could do that.
They're
So
like
don't
clean.
knock them. Yeah, like
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
knock it until you try it because they are really great. And there's actually one in Miami Beach.
Oh,
There's a
wow.
hostel. It's called The Generator, and it's such a great one to stay at. I've stayed at there 2 or 3 times, and they have really great like social areas. They have a pool, they have pool table, they have like a in-house bar restaurant. And me and my best friend, we made so many friends while we were there staying there, and I will stay there every time I go to Miami.
Okay.
That's so cool. Yeah, like I said, I've never done it, so I don't want to like you said, like knock it until you try it.
Yeah.
Because as long as I'm like I feel safe in the condition, I don't care. Like I really don't.
Yeah.
And also I think when I do travel, I can't really speak as if I have. But, like I want to be immersed and like see, like I even do that when I go to like Nashville, New Orleans. Like I want to be immersed into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I think that would be like almost like a good way, like a hostel, I feel like is a great opportunity for that. So
Oh, yeah.
Sure. I feel like it's good
And you
for
meet people
solo
from all over. Mhm.
traveling. Yeah. Because then you have like, you can be like, hey, are you going to, let's go do this. Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's how it works. I'm
definitely.
guessing that's how it works.
that's
Oh,
what
it
I'm saying. I'm
is.
just like I'm making assumptions, but
Yeah, if like someone speaks English and they hear that you're speaking English, they'll just walk up to you and be like, "Oh my gosh, hi! Like I'm so and so. Like where are you from?" And you'll be like, "Oh, I'm from
That's
the
really
States." And they're
cool.
like, "Oh my gosh, I'm from Australia." And then you're like best friends. Like it's just kind of, it's really easy
so
to make
cool.
friends.
That's cool. It's really cool. Have you ever felt unsafe in one of those or anything? I think.
Um, there's only one time that we felt unsafe, and that's like saying a lot because I've stayed
Okay.
in a lot of different hostels.
Okay, cool.
But it wasn't the hostel that I felt unsafe at. It was one particular person, and the staff there were like really helpful and like getting us to feel more comfortable. But there's just like this guy who like kind of had a thing for my best friend, and he was like waiting for us outside like when we went to like leave to go to the airport, and he'd like
Oh,
kind of been like following her around a little bit, and that made us feel like really uncomfortable. But the staff like helped us out obviously, and like it was totally fine. But that was the only time I've ever felt like truly like uncomfortable, and that can happen anywhere. So
yeah. Cool.
yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Siobhan is about to book a hostel, don't know to where. She's about to become a skydiver, don't know where.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you just have to download Hostel World because I
Okay.
will like just sit there and like look at different places and like save them for future trips, and you'll
Okay.
become obsessed.
All right.
I will
Another
say
hyperfixation.
when I finally book my trip, I'm gonna like text you like, so did you want to come?
Yes.
You wanna take my trip virginity with me?
Yes. Oh my gosh. You can come to Southeast Asia. We can backpack
That's
Southeast
true.
Asia.
One of my friends, her and her cousin are doing like 4 months, and they're doing 1 month in Australia, 1 month in, oh God, Shauna, do you remember where? I don't remember. I know
I
1 month in
don't.
Australia, 1 month's in Greece, and then they're doing 2 other
I
months.
know they're
And
going
she
back to
also,
Wow.
Croatia and something
yeah,
else.
they're going to Croatia too. So like they're going
Wow.
all out and they're doing a month in each. And I'm like, that is so fun. So I already made the joke. I was like, can I come to Greece? And she's like, we have a laundry list of people visiting us in Greece. I'm like, okay, Australia, like any of them. Come on. Like give me
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
So I just need my passport to come in, but it's only been like a month and a half. So I probably still have a while because passports take like 8 to 12 weeks, they're claiming right now,
Yeah.
which is fine. It's really fine.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah,
Me
Yeah,
too.
if you ever need travel tips, hit me up. I got you.
I will. I will.
All right.
Are we
Well,
done? Are we good?
I think
Yeah.
so. Thank
How
you
do
so
you
much
feel? Was that the
for
first time you've done a podcast?
Yeah, actually it is.
How do you feel? I feel like it's kind of just like talking like I mean, I know we're not your friends, we're like new people, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's just like a conversation.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
are my friends. I feel like I'm just like talking to like my best friend or whatever on the phone, or like FaceTiming you guys.
Mhm.
I kind of forgot we
Yeah.
were doing a podcast, honestly.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like me and Siobhan, I feel like just question each other on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
thank you
fun.
for doing it.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for like inviting me. This was so awesome.
I think
Yeah.
you're like so cool now. I'm gonna have to follow you on Instagram.
Yeah,
Thank
no.
you. We
No,
can
that
go
was
on a trip
awesome.
together.
No, I'm being so serious. Once my passport
I'm
comes
there.
in, I'll send you a text. I'm not kidding.
Yes, do it. I'm there.
All right.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. That was fun.
Thanks for sharing all your travel and skydiving tips.
Of
No, that was,
course.
like I said, I think you're the coolest person ever. I'm like amazed.
Aw, thank
Yeah.
you so much. You're
Like
so
that's
sweet.
that's so unique. That's so like cool. Like there's no way you're just gonna walk on the street and find a skydiver. Like that's such a unique passion. And like that's, I don't know. I think it's really cool.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Definitely trying to like build my life into what I want it to be, you know. So I think I'm finding my way finally on like the things that I like. So
I feel like you should just be a travel agent at this point.
Yeah, right. I've thought about it. I like go back and forth between like what I want to do for my career because I'm like, do I want to make it my career or do I just want to like enjoy it on the side? I don't really know.
That's true. Because that's true. If you
Yeah.
start planning it for everybody else, it might almost become like more of a task than an enjoyment. That's true.
Yeah. And I've had
Yeah.
like a couple startup ideas for like travel related like companies that I want to do, but that's for another time when they get more developed.
Gotcha.
And they start progressing. I'll definitely tell you guys more about it, but I think that would be cool to do. Maybe as a career, we'll see.
Yeah.
Very cool. So cool.
You can come back and tell us all about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you're ever in Florida or Orlando, please seriously text me. Like,
Oh, I will. I actually
Yeah.
was just talking about going down to Florida and like planning a trip. So if I do, I will hit you up.
I was gonna say, I have a pretty nice couch. I won't make you pay. I'm not a hostel, but I have a pretty big couch. It's pretty comfy.
I would love to crash on your couch. That would be awesome.
Well, text me if you end up planning it. Seriously though.
I will.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll follow you back on Instagram.
Okay.
Same if you're
Cool.
ever in
I just want-
DC.
Yes, I've actually never been to DC either. So
Okay. It's a cool
Okay,
spot.
cool.
Yeah. Do you want to share where people can find you?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Your socials and stuff?
Definitely. So I'm mostly on Instagram and TikTok. I'm trying to post more on TikTok. It's getting there.
Oh,
I
I
have so
feel
many
you.
videos from like my travels that I need to edit and put together, but editing is just so time consuming. You guys
Mhm.
can find me on TikTok, Instagram. My name is Alexandria Tinker and it's spelled differently. So maybe you guys put it in like this.
We'll tag it down below.
Something.
Yeah, we'll
tag
tag
it
it.
down
We'll put it-
below. Yeah. But my username's both like the same on both of those. So you guys can check it out. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, go follow her for all the skydiving content.
Yeah, skydiving, travel, lifestyle, vlogs.
Just followed you.
hopefully.
I found it.
Sweet. Oh yeah, there you are.
Cool.
All
All
right,
right.
Shona,
Cool.
outro sus.
Outroing
Give us
it
the
out.
outro.
All right. Yeah. So thanks for being on and thanks for listening to everybody listening. And you guys can follow us on thereandback.pod on Instagram and TikTok. And we're also on YouTube now. So if you wanted to watch this episode, see the facial expressions, etc., you can check it out on YouTube. I think that's it. So we'll see you next
You
Tuesday.
can see me say "so cool" about 57 times. I feel like we need to like take a tally.
All right. Somebody count it in the comments.
And let us know.
All right. Well, thank
Cool.
you again, Alex. It was so
Yeah.
fun talking to you. I really do. I feel like we're like best friends now. So
Yeah.
when my passport
Thank
comes in, I'm
you.
sending you a text. So
Yes.
good
And we'll
luck.
be like,
Awesome.
we're
Good
going
trip.
here. You joining?
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me a day. I'll be there.
Okay. Sounds great.
Perfect.
Thanks. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.